This video takes you through the retest review number 5 over graphing linear functions. So, problem 1, ask me for the rate of change of the line shown. If I'm not really sure where some nice pretty points are, I can always count on my x and y intercepts. If you're like, I'm not sure if it's crossing or not, then this would be a good way to start. You could also take your points. This is the x-intercept -8, 0, and the y-intercept 0, -6, and put those in stat edit like we're going to do on step 2, or problem 2. But if I want to count, I'm just going to count the slope. Remember, slope is like visiting someone at a hotel or a hospital. You have to get in the elevator and go up or down first. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I went down 6 floors. Then once I'm on the floor I need to be, I can get out and walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my slope goes down 6 to the right 8. Now if I put that in my calculator, it will reduce to -3/4. So make sure you double check that all of your answers are in the most reduced form possible. Problem 2 asked me to find the slope of the line through these 2 points. So I need to rewrite my points in a table, 9, 8, and 3, -2. And then I can put these into stat edit. So I will show you that now. To get to stat edit, I click the stat button right here under delete. So I click stat, enter. My x's are going to go in L1. And then my y's, which are 8 and -2. Oh, hello. Sorry. 8 and -2 are going to go in L2. Remember, these steps are in your purple foldable. And make sure you press enter after each entry. From here, I'm going to go back to stat. Scroll right to calc. Go down to 4. Press enter a ton of times until I get this answer. Now 1.6 repeating is definitely going to be a fraction, so I'm going to type 1.6 and do a bunch of 6's. And then come up here and click math, enter, enter, to see that it's really the fraction 5/3. So this was 1.6 repeating, which is really the fraction 5/3, and on your retest you will need to put them into fraction form. Problem 3, ask for the slope of the line graphed. This line has a slope of undefined because you could make a U out of it, also because it's going straight up and down. 4, this line is start of a 0, so that has a slope of 0, or you can put the number 0. Remember not to put the 0 with the slash because that means no solution, and there is a slope there. Problem 5, they're asking me to graph y equals 3/4 x minus 5. So my slope is 3/4. That's the number directly attached to x. And my y-intercept is -5, which is needs to be listed as a point and is where we start to graph. So I'm going to go down to -5 on the y-axis because that's my y-intercept. And then my slope goes up 3, right 4. So I'm going to go up 3 to the right 4. Up 3 to the right 4, and once I have a couple of good points, I can graph my line. So again, the number that falls after x is your b for beginning on the y-axis. The number with x is your slope, so it tells you how to continue graphing that line. So 6, my y-intercept, oh, sorry, that says x-intercept. My y-intercept is at 6, so I'm going to start at 6. My slope is -3. So I'm going to go down 3 to the right 1. Remember, if it is not listed, if there's no second part of the fraction, it's always over 1. So down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1, couple of times. And I have enough to draw a line. And then they ask me for the x-intercept, which is where it crosses the x-axis. This is not visible through anything in the equation. This is only visible after I've graphed. So I couldn't answer that before I've graphed. And my x-intercept, it crosses the x-axis at the point 2, 0. 7 asked me to graph a line that passes through this point with a slope. So remember, our first step is to plot or graph the point. So that point is at 2, -6, which is down here. My second step is to use the slope to continue the line. So I'm going to go down 1, right 3, down 1, right 3. They aren't asking me for any features of this, but if I needed the x-intercept and I wasn't really sure, I could also go up 1, right 3. Or left 3, sorry. Remember, we go the other direction. Problem 8 asks for the rate of change x and y intercepts on the line described by the graph. So my x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, which is at 4. So that's the point 4, 0. My y-intercept is where this crosses the y-axis. It crosses the y-axis at -2. And so we go down to 0, -2. And then my rate of change from point to point, I can go up 2 to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 2 over 4, which reduces to 1/2. So again, we're just identifying those key features. Problem 9 asks me for the 0 of the graph. 0 is the one number from the x-intercept. So I'm going to look at where does this cross the x-axis. It crosses right here, which is at -5, 0. So my 0 is just the number -5 because 0 just wants that one specific number, not the point. And then problem 10, they want the equation of a line that has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 0, -4. So when we write our equations, they're y equals mx plus b. This is my slope, and this is my y-intercept. So my slope is 2, which is going to replace m. My y-intercept is -4, which is going to replace b. You could also write it as 2x minus 4 as well.